Thank you for that, Dr. Bullis, and sharing your expertise. I'm sure we have a lot of questions coming through virtual chat. I'm sure you all have questions in the room, so make sure you're jotting them down. We can address them during the Q&A session at the end. But we're going to keep the show moving along, so I'd actually like to invite Darren Hart up here, Senior Vice President of Clinical Operations at Mirum Pharmaceuticals. He leads global clinical development in rare diseases and nearly brings 30 years of experience across biotech with prior roles in Genentech, Exelixis, and other leading companies. And fun fact, earlier in his career, he worked as both an ICU burn nurse and an attorney, so he's bringing a uniquely broad perspective to this work. Welcome, Darren.
Please don't hold that attorney thing against me. I should probably be better at public speaking if I'm an attorney, but we'll go with it anyway. So first of all, thank you for allowing me to come here and speak this morning in front of you all. I feel like a bad 80s cover band after Dr. Imam and Dr. Bolus up here, but I'll do my best to hit the hits. So I'm going to talk a little bit about, this morning you heard a little bit about Mirum in the thank yous at the beginning. I want to talk a little bit about who we are, talk a little bit about our approach to PSC through our allele bile acid transport inhibitor, IBAT inhibitors, and then give you a brief update on where we stand with our VISTAS study and some exciting news about that study. So, oops, wrong way. So first of all, the legal stuff. This presentation is going to contain information about investigational products. They have not been approved by any regulatory body, so don't take them as any statements that I make as any indication of the safety or efficaciousness of them at this point. And I am not a doctor, and so anything that I say here should not be interpreted as medical guidance and should not be a substitute for such. So Mirum, who are we? We are about 400 people globally, based here in the Bay Area in Foster City, but also with people in Switzerland and around the globe. We are dedicated to the exploration of treatments for rare disease, in liver disease, in diseases of children, and other rare diseases. Why do we do this? We do this in order to change people's lives. We do this in order to find treatments to make people's lives better. And how are we trying to accomplish that? Well, we accomplish it through mostly listening to people, listening to communities like yours, and patients and families, and trying to determine what ways we can help. And then attacking that, figuring out what's important to you and how can we change that? How can we make a difference? And then partnering with you, physicians, families, scientists, to figure out that problem, that conundrum, and working diligently to do that. It's interesting, a little anecdote. There's 400 of us, 425. Some of us are nurses, there's doctors, scientists, chemists, business people. But if you come to Mirum and you ask, why do we do this? If you just walk in the door and ask the person at the front desk, why are you here? I think you'll find that to a person, there's a connection to people. They'll all answer you the same way. We do this because we want to help, whether it's the accountant or whether it's the physician. And I think that's important to know. And it's probably the same at Ibsen. It's why we do what we do. So here's an interesting slide. This is what we have, what we call our pipeline. These are the 6 molecules that we have in our pipeline. Of these 6 molecules, 2 of them are IBAT inhibitors and focus on cholestatic liver disease. The first one here is on the market, is Livmarli. It's maralixibat. It's primarily focused on pediatric cholestatic liver diseases, Alagille syndrome and PFIC. We also have an ongoing study looking at broadening the use of maralixibat to other cholestatic liver diseases. And then we have volixibat, which is the molecule that we're studying in the VISTAS study for PSC. Also, we're studying volixibat for PBC. So, IBAT inhibition in cholestatic liver disease. Why IBATs? Again, here's where I feel a little bit insufficient after Dr. Imam's discussion. I learned more in that 15 minutes about PSC than I've learned in the 3 years that I've been at Miram, but I'll do my best. So we focus on one aspect of cholestatic liver disease, which is bile acids. And as Dr. Imam discussed, PSC is a fibrosis of the bile ducts, the stricturing or the narrowing of the bile ducts, and that causes a backup of bile acids into the liver and in the systems. It's just like the plumbing at your house. If you have a clog in the drain, it backs up, and bile acid backs up into the liver, and it causes problems. You need some bile acid. It helps you digest fats. It helps you process fatty vitamins. You need some, but if you get too much, it causes problems. It causes liver dysfunction. It causes symptoms, inflammation, and more scarring. So our approach is, can we decrease the bile acids in the body? So the increase in bile acids causes a lot of bad stuff. It causes itching, pruritus, uncontrollable, unrelenting. I feel a little bit silly up here talking about these symptoms of PSC to you all who have to live with them and experience them every day. Fatigue, this overwhelming fatigue that doesn't go away with rest or sleep. This mental and emotional issues that are standalone by themselves or taken in conjunction with physical manifestations make them worse. Brain fog and impaired cognitive issues that just make getting day-to-day things done. Pain, chronic pain, all of these things, all of these symptoms. You know, Dr. Bolus talked about the feel and function. That's what these are. And we believe that the increase in the bile acid in the liver and the system, they affect all of these things. So our approach is by targeting the IBAT and inhibiting it. So the IBAT basically regulates the circulation of bile acids. And as the bile acids come out of the body, it's a protein that acts as a kind of a traffic cop. And it says, as the bile acids are flowing through the body, if you need it, it says, come back in. Just come this way, and we're going to reabsorb you into the body to keep that bile acid level at the right level. That's the way it normally functions. But in PSC, because of those strictures, your bile acid levels are high. And so our approach is to inhibit that process, to shunt or to get rid of that bile acid into the stool, right? That lowers the bile acids in the body, and therefore, we believe will have an effect on these symptoms, primarily itch and fatigue. That's where we think we'll see it first. So here's the big part. So we have an ongoing phase 2 study that we refer to as VISTAS. And where are we? So this is the exciting news that we have to share. We've completed enrollment in this study. That's exciting, and we're expecting to have results of that this quarter. It says quarter 2, but that's this quarter. And we hope to share those with you soon. The main reason why I'm here, and really it could be the only reason why I'm here, is to say thank you. Because we could not have accomplished that task of enrolling that VISTAS study without the help of PSC partners, without the help of this community, and without the help of you all in this room, patients, families, and online, to give of yourselves and your time to our study to make it happen. So my purpose here is one purpose, and that is to say thank you. So with that, I'll say thank you, and I'll stop.